They tell you to show your feelings, to wear your heart on your sleeve. They say emotions make you human, that holding them in is bad for you. But Machiavelli, a master of human nature, understood a hard truth most people never learn. The more you show what you feel, the more easily others can steer you. Imagine your inner strength, your true power, as a deep, clear spring hidden far beneath the surface. Most people let their spring overflow, showing all its currents, its depths, its calm moments, and its muddy upsets. This open display makes you easy to predict. It gives away your position. Your feelings become a leash around your neck that anyone can pull. If you love someone too openly, they might take advantage. If you worry too much, they might use your fears. If you react quickly, they win quickly. Machiavelli didn't just master how countries worked, he mastered himself. Because no plan, no strategy matters if your emotions can be easily controlled by others at any moment. For years, we're taught that being open equals honesty, that feeling things deeply equals truth, that showing your weak spots equals strength. Yet, every time you acted purely on emotion, someone likely gained an advantage. You forgave too soon. You reacted too strongly and looked out of control. You chased answers that never came. You shared personal things, and they remembered them to use later. This is the cost. Your feelings didn't free you. They gave others the key to your hidden spring. Chapter 1. Guarding the Source, the Power of Inner Calm. Machiavelli lived in a time of constant danger, where trust was rare and betrayal was common. He saw leaders fall because they let their emotions guide their decisions. In that world, showing too much emotion was a deadly risk. He knew that when you are predictable, your anger is easy to trigger, your quiet moments are easy to read. Your love is easy to use against you. You become quick to react, quick to speak without thinking, quick to act without fully watching. You become dependent. You chase good feelings, you need approval, you let others control how you see yourself. You become easy to defeat because people don't need to be smarter than you. They just need to know how to trigger your emotions. Throughout history, the most powerful people shared one key quality. They were unmoving. They weren't bothered by bad talk. They weren't swayed by praise. They were calmly separate from what others thought of them. These people weren't cold. They were self-contained, like a hidden spring. And that's what Machiavelli wanted to become. Not a robot, not a monster, but a person whose inner calm could not be broken by outside forces. Because once you learn to stop feeling reactively, you start acting strategically. You become the kind of person others watch carefully because they can't read you. You say less, you hear more, you observe everything without letting your feelings take over. And that kind of control makes the emotional world unsure. This isn't about being numb. There's a big difference between holding back emotions and truly controlling them. Holding back is just avoiding. Control is precise. You don't pretend you don't feel things. You learn when, how, and why you show what you feel. And if the moment isn't smart, you feel it inside, but you don't show it outside. That's what separates strong people from those who get hurt easily. Machiavelli didn't want to be numb. He wanted to be impossible to touch, so he trained for it, in his thoughts, in how he stood, in his quiet moments. Because the moment you learn to manage your emotions on command, you don't just gain power, you become power. If you're ready to master your emotional spring and become truly unshakable, take a moment to like this video. Your support helps us share these powerful strategies. And for more transformative insights into mastering your presence, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Your journey to unseen power starts here. Chapter 2. The Spring's Deep Roots, Learning from Your Past. Machiavelli wasn't born calm and detached. He became that way through tough experiences, being used, betrayed, losing everything. It wasn't just a philosophy that changed him, it was survival. You don't become calm by reading books. You become calm when being emotional keeps getting you hurt. He gave his loyalty to people he trusted, and then they threw him out, put him in prison, forgot him. His entire career was erased in days. Not because he failed, but because power shifted, and loyalty meant nothing. That was a harsh lesson. They only love you until you're no longer useful. What would most people do? Cry, give up, beg for their job back, say sorry. But not Machiavelli. He watched, he learned, he separated his feelings. He realized that strong emotions can make you loyal to people who would easily get rid of you when it suits them. So he decided, if I'm going to suffer, it won't be for love, it will be for strategy. Every time you feel betrayed, it often starts with, I thought they wouldn't do that. That thought comes from trust, and trust comes from emotion. But Machiavelli realized a colder truth. People are loyal only until being loyal costs them something. And when the cost is too high, they change their minds. Emotion doesn't stop betrayal, it makes you blind to the signs of it. And he refused to be blind again. The biggest change in Machiavelli wasn't anger, it was clear understanding. He wrote his famous book not out of revenge, but out of a calm view of how power truly works and how most people aren't strong enough to admit it. You might think you're emotionally smart because you feel deeply, but true intelligence is when you feel deeply and still act with clear, calm thought. Machiavelli trained for that. So how do you learn from your past pain and grow stronger? It doesn't start with wise sayings, it starts with your pain. Look at your past. Who used you? Who lied to you? Who left when you were no longer needed? What did you feel? Shame, sadness, anger, confusion. That pain isn't just a bad memory, it's valuable information. It's your training ground. Every betrayal is a message. Stop letting people see what they don't deserve to hold. Every disappointment is a reminder. Your hopes are like hostages others can use. Machiavelli didn't numb himself. He studied his pain until it stopped controlling him. He broke down how people act. He changed his automatic responses. He turned painful experiences into a way to recognize patterns. Now, when someone smiles too quickly, praises too much, or agrees too eagerly, he doesn't feel warmth. He feels a warning. Because once you learn from your pain, you stop walking into the same traps. Chapter 3. The Springs Flow. How your calm affects others. You can't build strength by hiding. You build it by wisely facing things. Machiavelli didn't hide away. He stayed close to power, to tricky situations, to deceit. But instead of letting it upset him, he started to observe it carefully, like a scientist. He trained his mind to watch, not react, to record, not fall apart, to stay calm while others showed all their feelings. And over time, his emotions no longer made his decisions. They became signals, a layer of information, not something that steered him. That's what you're building now. Not being uncaring, but having emotional control. The ability to feel without being controlled by those feelings. Machiavelli didn't want to escape emotions for peace, he did it for power. Why? Because once you master your own emotions, you automatically master other people. Everyone else is controlled by the very things you've now learned to manage. They want to be liked, they need to feel understood, they react when triggered, they speak when nervous, they confess when afraid. You no longer do any of that. You've become calm and steady. And in that calmness, you become the authority. Watch any group. The one who speaks first is often trying to impress. The one who interrupts is afraid of being forgotten. The one who explains too much is unsure if they'll be understood. The one who needs to be heard is already losing ground. Now watch the one who waits. They don't react, they don't rush, they don't explain. But when they speak, everyone listens. Not because of their loud voice, but because of their calm presence. That's Machiavellian presence. The one who controls himself controls others. Because your self-control becomes a mirror for others. Emotions. If you stay calm, they start second-guessing their own angry tone. If you don't flinch, they wonder if they went too far. If you don't chase a final talk, they struggle to understand why. The calmer you become, the more power others accidentally hand you. Here's what Machiavelli understood. When you speak less, people become unsure in the silence. And to break that tension, they start talking. They confess, They give reasons, they over-explain, they reveal everything you didn't even ask for. Because silence feels like judgment, it feels like power. It feels like you know something they don't. So instead of trying to read them, you let them read themselves out loud. And the best part? You never gave anything away. People expect things to happen in a certain way. They insult you, you react. They make you feel guilty, you say sorry. They ask for help, you give in. That's how emotional people operate, on clear triggers. But when you stop reacting, you become a pattern breaker. Now they don't know what you're thinking, what you'll do, how you feel, or when you'll act. You've created uncertainty, and uncertainty breaks their control. You no longer just play the game, you control the game board itself. Let's be clear, being calm isn't being uncaring. You still care, you still want things, you still feel. You've just removed the way others can easily access those feelings. People can no longer guess your next move, read your face, sense your weakness, or time their tricks. Now only you know what's happening inside you. And everyone else? They guess. And guesswork always creates respect, sometimes fear. Because the person they can't read is the person they assume is more powerful than they are. Have you ever noticed that the quietest people in the room are often the ones no one wants to challenge? That's not just charm. That's emotional control shown in how they act. When you speak slowly, react rarely, move with purpose, hold eye contact calmly, and sit still when others are squirming, you show strength without a word. You're not trying to impress. You're simply anchored while others are floating, drifting, desperately trying to find stability in your presence. And the more they float, the more they naturally move around you. Machiavelli didn't learn this by meditating on a mountain. He learned it in busy courts, in tough talks, in conflicts. Because emotional control isn't built in peace. It's built in challenges. You don't learn to stay calm when you're alone. You learn it when you're being tested, challenged, provoked, and you choose silence anyway. This is where self-control becomes a deep practice, not just a mood, but a powerful method. Someone insults you? Pause. They try to make you feel guilty? Pause. They beg, cry, accuse, try to trick you? Pause. Machiavelli used the pause like a powerful tool. Because in that short space between a problem and your response, you regain control, not just of your words, but of the whole situation. You become the one setting the pace. And once you control the pace, you control the direction. The one who speaks second knows the situation best. That's not just smart thinking, that's smart emotional management. Let them use up their energy, you save yours. That alone makes you more powerful. You don't react to every change in tone. You don't take every insult personally. You don't fall apart at every sign of disapproval. You watch, you collect information, you study, not to attack, but to understand. Because most people show their entire inner map in how they try to make you feel. If they try to make you feel guilty, they're insecure. If they praise you too much, they want to control you. If they ignore you, they want attention. Machiavelli treated emotion like valuable information. Every emotional reaction is a map to someone's deepest fears. And every map is an advantage if you stay quiet enough to read it. You don't owe anyone emotional clarity. If someone says you seem off, are you okay? You calmly say, I'm just thinking deeply. If they ask, what are you planning right now? You say, a lot, but nothing urgent. That's how you train yourself to be a bit mysterious. Not by being fake, but by saying less than they can use. Because clear explanations can make you emotionally vulnerable. And being a bit mysterious? It creates protection. The less they know what affects you, the more they guess. And the more they guess, the less power they have. When a conversation isn't helping, you calmly leave it. Not with drama or a big explanation, just with distance. You stop replying, you stop engaging, you stop giving them importance. Why? Because every unnecessary response is like taking money out of your emotional bank. Machiavelli would never let someone keep him in a loop. He'd step away silently. Because power doesn't need a final statement. It just needs to vanish. You're in an awkward silence. You're being stared at. You're feeling misunderstood. Your first thought is to fix it, to fill the silence, to explain yourself. Machiavelli would feel that same pressure and just sit in it, still, unmoved, calm. That's where real training happens, in refusing to relieve discomfort, because discomfort is a test, and most people fail it by overcorrecting. You win by letting others feel uneasy in a situation you've already learned to handle calmly. Eventually, you won't have to force yourself to pause. It will be natural. You won't have to pretend to be calm. You'll be calm. You won't get upset because they simply can't reach you. That's when you've gone from just having self-control to being truly powerful. You've trained yourself to feel nothing when it matters most, and to use your feelings only when it helps you. You're not cold, you're precise. And in a world addicted to quick reactions, that precision is power of the highest form. Here's how to ensure your transformation continues. Hit the like button if this deep dive into Machiavellian wisdom has helped you understand the power of emotional control. Your support helps share these vital lessons. Subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. Your journey to mastering unseen influence and becoming an alchemist of self begins now. I'll see you in the next build.